Yeah, welcome everybody to the Primo Bros show.
You're good to go whenever, Zeno. I love you.
I love it too.
Yo, I'm Zeno.
I'm Dino, and this is the Primo Bros Show.
Oh, episode 10.2. Or part 2. Also, let us know in the comments or whatever, like if you like the two-part system more than the other one. Because it's a little easier for us to edit it, but like, if you guys hate it, you know, that's fine. It's fine.
I don't care what they like or not. I'm still gonna do it.
F them kids.
Epic. Anyway, what's the German name and summary for this episode, Zeno?
Episode 9, whatever. Hypno Birthday to You, also known as, in Germany, Und taglich grüßt der Geburtstag.
Wait, really? That's the whole name?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
I think it means happy birthday to you.
Uh-huh.
I'm not certain.
Yeah, well, we don't actually speak German. We just use the name because it's a funny gag.
Yes. Also, this is the only episode that I've seen thus far where there's more like German title cards throughout the rest of the episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all the transitions where it's like the next day are also in German because it's text.
Oh, shoot. I didn't even realize. Dang, that's hilarious.
Freaking awesome.
So
Yeah, the plot of this episode. Yeah, you go ahead.
What's this episode?
This episode's pretty simple. It's Jimmy realizes he's running out of very expensive elements, and for whatever reason doesn't just make a way to go mine them himself. So he has an idea to get a chemistry set for his birthday, but that's 3 months away. Jimmy doesn't have time. Thankfully, Carl suggests that he just hypnotizes his parents with his hypno beam to make it his birthday tomorrow. So he does that, and it's his birthday tomorrow. Every day.
And the next day. And
he
the
gets
next day.
Real freaking
next
sick of it,
day.
real quick. And also a clown is there.
A lot. A clown is there a lot.
So what do you think of this wonderful episode?
So I enjoy this episode. But the first thing I want to say is Carl brings out. Jimmy's like, hey Carl, I know you got a science experiment kit for your birthday. Can I borrow it? And Carl's like, Jim, you can borrow my science experiment kit. Talking like he's the one who gave him the idea.
I know, isn't it great?
Yeah,
I love. He just suddenly suggests to Carl, "Give me the kit," and he's just like, Jim, why didn't you say I happen to have a kit? I happen to have a science kit you can have.
Yeah. And
doesn't come with a potato, but
yeah. Sorry, does not come with potato, but it has mud and salt.
Yeah, what kind of science project is this?
It doesn't even come with a potato.
Doesn't come with the clock.
Yeah.
Doesn't come with anything.
On the cover it says mud and salt. This
is a joke product.
It is. But Carl's parents were like, he wants to be a boy genius. We'll turn him into a boy genius. So they went
How
down
much
to
is a science kit? Oh, $60. Go dig up some mud and get the printer out.
Yeah.
We'll make our own.
Yeah.
Also, fun little detail.
Yes.
The frog pic from the movie is on the wall of Carl's room.
Whoa, poggers, dude!
It's freaking awesome. I'm so happy.
Yeah, that's hilarious. So Carl and Sheen are playing a llama game, and
Sure are.
Carl's like
shoots and ladders, but for babies.
Yeah, but yeah, it's
There's
it's
no
llamas.
shoots.
It's llamas, and Sheen's like making it super intense, like, and, oh, you rolled an 11, oh, and the llama shall go to hell, and Carl's like, I don't think you know how to play this game.
He's like, no wonder I'm not having fun.
Yeah. And then Sheen is eating popcorn, and his popcorn eating animation is hilarious.
He just throws it in his face.
Yeah, and then he's it's just the way they animated it was really funny to me.
It was.
Yeah.
I also like that he ate one of the dice on accident.
Yeah. That is. So I've been looking for that scene ever since we started watching this again, because like it has been in my mind for years. For some reason, that is one thing that is stuck in my mind, is Sheen eating one of the dice and him throwing out what he thought was 2 dice, but it was a die and a piece of popcorn.
Which I think is the funniest visual of this whole episode, is him eating popcorn, throwing dice, and then the next roll is a die and a piece of popcorn.
I don't know why. That's just been stuck in my mind for years.
I love that Carl's just like, Sheen, how the hell did you roll a 1? There were 2 die. I might be dumb, but I'm not stupid.
Yeah. And then Sheen's like, "Ugh," which I assume I assume he didn't chew it. He just like threw it in and it just went down. Which I don't know how, because his throat is really thin.
You know why he did that? Because he's used to freaking throwing the kernels in there too, because he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but so I love his eating animation, but then so yeah, I don't know. So go on. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Carl, when he suggested to Jimmy that he uses the Hypno beam to make his parents think it's his birthday tomorrow, Jimmy goes, "Carl, that's genius!" And he goes, "Really? But I said it."
Yeah.
And that's so sad.
But he's so self-aware, though. He at least he knows. He knows.
Jimmy, you need to be nicer to your friend.
No. Jimmy said he's a genius. Carl's the one who's like, "But I said it."
Well, that's if Jimmy doesn't make his friends feel like they can say things and be geniuses all the time, then Jimmy's failing as a friend.
That's true, but Jimmy did admit it, and Carl's the one who had to learn to accept it in his heart.
In this one instance.
Yeah. But Jimmy said that a couple times. Carl's come up with ideas, and Jimmy's like, "Carl, you're a genius," and he's like, "Oh, really?" Yeah. So this is not the first time he said it, and Carl's questioned it.
There is a giant plot hole in this episode, though.
Oh, what's that?
Jimmy hypnotizes his parents with the phrase, "Jimmy's birthday is tomorrow."
Uh-huh.
What's wrong with this? With what happens after this?
I don't know.
It's always tomorrow. So Jimmy would just wake up and his parents would be like, "Get ready, Jimmy, your birthday's tomorrow." And they'd wake up the next day and they'd be like, "Your birthday's tomorrow." It would just never happen. Jimmy's birthday would just never happen.
That's a good point. But the thing that I realized, because like, later on, after however many days of his birthday being every day, they're like, "Okay, it's time to go to college, and we're like letting the clown live here now because we're in crippling insane debt." What I realized is, like, oh, the way that their brains took it was that, oh, it's like
a whole year had passed.
A whole year has passed. Yeah. Which at first,
you know what? No, not even a whole year had passed. They were just like, "Oh, it's his birthday tomorrow," but they still remember his previous birthday, so they just add 1 to his age. Every time.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I can see how this still works then.
Yeah. I mean, the way that you put it, I'm like, yeah, that is kind of a plot hole, because then they would just be like, "Oh, his birthday's tomorrow." But yeah, Anyway. But
all of this episode would have had to do to fix this is Jimmy's birthday is today. And then his parents would just apologize to him that day. And the next day they would just be like, "Oh, frick, it's his birthday today." And then it would start the whole cycle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I
just wanted to... So, yeah. I like this episode because the clown was probably the standout character in this episode.
He's voiced by the Visine guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 100%.
His name...
What's his Visine guy actor? Ben Stein, IMDb.
Yeah. He also voices HP from the Fairly Odd Parents.
That's right. How do you search? F it. Control F. Jimmy. Yep. He was Giggles the Clown.
Yeah, it was Mr. Giggles.
That's freaking awesome. I love
Yeah.
that name.
So Mr. Giggles is part of the clown, works for clown service. And can I just go over some of his bills?
Yeah.
So, some of his charges include general clowning, which he charges
General clowning.
yeah, $45 to do. And he performs it 5 different times on July 14th, which is $200. So that's a decent amount. Another charge for funny poetry for $30. And he does it 5 times, which is $150. And then it appears with the added with style. It's an extra $15 compared to, without style. And then Retroville has I can't believe I found this information, but Retroville has a 4% tax rate as seen on the invoice. And subtracting the $70 tax from the grand total of the invoice of $16.95 gives you $16.25 divided by 70 gives you roughly about 4%. I didn't do this math myself, people. This was on the Jimmy Neutron wiki. So,
what is happening in Texas where they only pay 4%? What the hell is happening?
Yeah.
We established that this cartoon takes place in 2002, 2003-ish?
2001.
2001, yeah. So even I remember the tax rate was never that low.
Hey, it's a fantasy world.
Oh, you're right. I like that Hugh, when talking to the clown, told him that we never judge people based on the multicolor of their skin.
Yeah.
But here's my question though: was Hugh making a joke, or did he think that was his actual skin color?
Well, what do you think the answer is based on Hugh Neutron?
I don't know. I feel like Hugh Neutron knows about clowns, seeing as he is one.
I'm a monkey.
I'd also like to point out that Cindy and Libby are way too easily contented by cake.
Yeah. Well, this is actually, I think this is kind of a brain blast fun fact, but this is just kind of something I noticed and something I read is this is the first episode that they don't antagonize Jimmy in any way.
Well, yeah, because they get something out of it.
Yeah,
cake
exactly.
and candy.
Yeah.
But
everybody's like, whoa, Neutron, what the heck is going on? And they're like, oh, cake and candy. Oh, yay.
I'd also like to point out that Jimmy did not mention a clown at any point in the hypnosis. So the clown was 100% the parents' fault.
Oh, yeah. Well, Nick in the episode is like, I mean, this part is pretty cool, but, I mean, a clown? And Jimmy's like, hey, our parents treat us like we're 5. And so, I mean, nowadays you won't see a clown anywhere. They're pretty freaking creepy. But,
The last time I saw a clown, I was 10 years old, living in Portland, and we lived in this apartment complex. It was just a bunch of big buildings. But there was a chain link fence on the far side, and I remember looking through that fence and seeing a bunch of Hispanic kids having a birthday party, and there was a clown there blowing balloons. And then once he was done with one balloon, he went back to his metal folding chair, grabbed his beer, took a big swig, and then blew another balloon for another kid.
I just every time you bring up that place that you grew up for a while with all the Russians and everything, it is one of the most surreal, alternate reality things that I've ever heard.
It's like a pocket universe. I swear it was the weirdest place ever.
It was also in Portland, so it's obviously it's gonna be a little bit pocket universe.
I remember one of the Russian kids when I went to take out the trash. I was wearing a shirt that said Fubu and a big logo for Fubu on it. I don't know what the brand is. Apparently that's a brand. Yeah. And I walked past one of the Russian kids that would antagonize me every day, and he's at least 4 years younger than me. He's like, "What does FB stand for? Fat boy?" And I was like, "No."
I just want to go back in time and just meet little Zeno and just see what happens when you get called fat boy.
It was really funny.
by a little Russian kid.
And I just didn't know how to respond to it, especially because I was straight up the skinniest kid in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I don't know what.
What does it mean? Fat
boy?
boy? No.
No.
Mom. He called me fat. That's hilarious.
But yeah,
dude.
Jimmy. The clown destroys the Hypno beam, and then his parents play a sick epic prank on Jimmy. Whatever,
Yeah.
I don't care.
I know. I think it's actually super hilarious that when the machine broke, it actually like stopped the thing. But his parents just play a sick prank on him, and it's like, dude, Jimmy's parents they're so cool. And now that I've actually met the actors now, it makes it even better that they just they're just cool people. And so it's like, I just love the show even more just actually meeting the people behind it.
It's absolutely something they would do too. They just talk about it and be like, "Can you believe that they did that?"
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So they pull an epic prank on him. Be like, "Hey Jimmy, it's your 18th birthday. You're going off to college, and we're giving your room to Mr. Giggles the clown." Yeah.
AKA Ben Stein.
Yeah.
Who
AKA Ben Stein.
I did some rough math.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember what Texas's minimum wage is, but the federal minimum is like $7.25, so I rounded up to $7.50. And the clown is only charging a little bit more than I think like $11 an hour.
Uh-huh.
If he's just doing this by the hour and he worked 4
Well,
hours
he
a day.
he works for a service.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I imagine he is paid minimum wage, and a bunch of money just goes to the boss, essentially.
Of course, unless he is the boss.
We got the CEO to clown for you. Yeah.
Well, that's what all CEOs are, so
He sounds like a CEO. He's just drab and just not happy to be there.
Yeah. But hey, a brain blast fun fact for this episode.
Yes.
Based on Mr. Giggles' invoice and the earlier comment of his birthday being 3 months away, we learned that Jimmy's birthday is in October.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. October.
Yeah, so
my birthday's in August, so it's like 2
Yeah.
months out from that.
Uh-huh. My birthday's in September, so a month
That's
out from that.
right. That's
Yeah.
right.
And so I mean, I also the running joke of Sheen just being like, yeah,
Summer school.
summer school.
Forever.
I think it's just so funny that Sheen is always in summer school.
I love that he talks about it so casually, but he kind of brings it up in like a comedic way in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like he's going, airplane food, am I right?
Yeah. But overall, I like this episode. I think Mr. Giggles is pretty funny.
I'm glad that they never brought him back. I think that makes him funnier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also,
well, actually,
do we ever see the hall monitor ever again?
We do actually. In the trivia that I read, we actually, even though he moved away, we do actually see him in further episodes, just as like an extra in the background.
Oh.
We see Mr. Giggles the Clown, and we'll talk about when we get there, in the episode Foul Bowl.
Oh.
He will show up again. So keep an eye out for that, folks.
I'm excited.
Yes.
Well, yes,
I
thank you,
love
everyone,
Mr. I love Mr. Giggles.
He's a good character. He's got a good voice. He's honestly, I feel like if clowns were more like slightly ironic, like Mr. Giggles, they wouldn't have such a bad demeanor about them.
Well, the thing about clowns is they always speak in a really high-pitched voice, and they're like, they either act like a mime or, they act like kind of weird. If they acted more like Mr. Giggles and were just like super chill, I think they would really thrive in today's economy. Because like everybody's always joking about suicide and death and all that stuff, but like, Mr. Giggles, he's just super real. Or like that clown with those Mexican children that you saw growing up, how he just sat down, drank a beer, then blew another balloon.
It was so funny.
I'd hire
remember
that
seeing
clown.
it in that order and being like, "What the hell's happening?"
It's like it's your one experience of seeing a clown, and you're like, "What is this?"
What is he doing?
Yeah.
They can do that.
But overall,
there's a couple of really distinct memories I have of that place.
Yeah.
Like I remember in that specific place where I saw the clown doing that. I remember eating an entire tin of Altoid sours.
I've heard that story. Yep.
I love Altoid sours. When are they bringing back Altoid sours?
The orange ones, right?
Really, any of them? I remember the mango one.
Maybe it was the mango ones, but yeah, I loved those. They were so good.
Oh,
The shape was really interesting too.
Yeah, it was like a little, almost like a seed pod or like a bundle of grapes, but real tiny.
Yeah.
What was up
Man.
with that?
Anyway, so what did you think overall of this episode? What are your final thoughts?
Jimmy could have just asked for money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, based off of past episodes of, time is money, probably not.
Yeah.
Instead, he just let his parents go into crippling debt.
Honestly, all of this happened because Carl gave an idea that Jimmy thought was genius, but was actually bad.
Yeah.
Because none of this, Jimmy could have thought of hundreds of other ideas to get those minerals. Like, oh, why don't I just go to Nicaragua and mine them myself with my super laser miner thing? Like,
yeah.
Jimmy does things like that all the time, and I get that he's low on materials, but we know he's got a lab full of stuff that he can modify. We all know this.
Yeah.
But instead, he took Carl's dumbass idea. Ah, Jim, why don't you just make your birthday tomorrow and get like a tiny little piece of every mineral in a box? Carl, that is the fucking smartest thing I've ever heard in my life. He just did it.
Yeah.
This is Jimmy's fault.
It's
as
funny
usual.
How,
this is all Jimmy's fault.
Yeah. It's funny how a lot of times the whole episode comes from just one basic idea that just dives into and just horribleness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
what were your general thoughts on the episode?
My general thoughts? It's a fun episode. I like the gags. Mr. Giggles is a new favorite character.
Perfect. We'll never see him again, except for
one
one time. But he'll never speak again.
Exactly. Thank you, Ben Stein, for all that you do.
Yeah. I don't know if you're, cool or whatever, but if you wanted to come on the show, we had Hugh and Judy Neutron here, so we're basically celebrities.
Basically.
I'm Paul.